And we're talking making ends meet here on First at 4. Now, when it comes to financial aid and college, so CSU Global giving out some tips, helping students know what they should expect when they are paying for college. So important. So joining us now is Amanda Elliot to break it all down. She is the Student Finance Advising Manager at CSU Global. Thank you so much for being with us, Amanda. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, so
Thanks.
first and foremost, we know higher education obviously is an investment in so many ways. Not having access to student loans is tough. So how can students get those?
Sure. So the first step is to set up their profile on studentaid.gov. That's where they're going to complete the FAFSA, which is the free application for federal student aid. That's going to be step number one in securing any sort of federal funding.
And we also know debt is not always inescapable, right? Like, what are some tips on how to manage debt?
Sure. So we do not encourage overborrowing. We want to make sure you're only borrowing what you absolutely need. So before you click accept on taking any of those student loans, we highly recommend doing research on what scholarships, grants, or even employer benefits are available. And if you have to take student loans, work with your financial aid office to really drill them down and make sure that you know exactly what you need to cover, whether that's tuition, books, room and board, or any other personal expenses.
And Amanda, you mentioned scholarships, so let's talk about those. We know that you guys have tons of resources at CSU Global. How can people find those, and what are the best ones they should look into?
Sure. So the first one we like to recommend is using the Department of Labor's free scholarship search tool. It's called Career One Stop. So I would encourage a student to go there first and then take a look at their different grant agencies, depending on what state they're in. The Department of Education does have a great website that outlines all the different states and their resources. And then from there, kind of going to foundations or community organizations that you're affiliated with to see what scholarship opportunities are available. Even employers or parent employers might be able to help. And then, of course, from there, working with guidance counselors at high schools or at the financial aid office.
Yeah, so important. And we want to know, too, any other advice for students who want to be resourceful, their money?
Sure. So one of the things we always recommend is definitely do the FAFSA, even if you don't think that you're eligible. You never know what doors it can open. We would also recommend just generally learning how to make a budget. So for a lot of students, that may be just taking a foundational finance class when they first start college and seeing if they can find one that counts towards their degree program and an elective. So they learn those financial foundations right from the start of school and can apply them towards managing their financial aid and just managing their finances as they move on towards graduation.
And how important are finances? I feel like sometimes they're back of mind, you know, for many students. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not fun, right? Like that's not what you want to think about when you're in college, but they are so important. And that's why starting out on the right foot is really vital to success. We don't want students to get laden down with debt. We don't, that's not our goal. That's why our team, especially, we're always encouraging that responsible borrowing. We want you to be successful on the way out of college too.
And Amanda, we appreciate it so much. Thank you for taking time to talk with us here First at 4. We're going to put this interview online for you to watch again. And remember, you can watch all of our interviews right now on cbscolorado.com. Karen?